r/AskReddit. Guys who did something stupid for a girl, what did you do? I got on my bicycle and rode 18 miles to see my GF. My girlfriend lived 28 miles away. If you haven't done the math yet, my tire popped at 18 miles. So you're the guy in the my parents errand home meme. In college an undies/PJ party, a girl I was flirting with asked me to flash her my dick. I did. Drunk me showed her my flaccid penis. She was not impressed. I still cringe. LPT. Everyone wants to see the Hulk. No one cares about Bruce Banner. She crashed her bike going down a paved road, so I did the same to impress her, or to make her feel better. I really don't know my reasoning. She landed in the ditch. I did not. I knew this guy that was breezing through a 3-year electrotech college course while the rest of us struggled. I tried to talk some sense into him about this girl he was seeing. Left hand raising a finger for each con. 1. She's addicted to crack. 2. Her uncle is in the mob and has a questionable relationship with her. 3. She has a kid. 4. She's pressuring you to drop out and support her. 5. You're throwing away your future. Right hand. Pros. 1. She's incredibly hot. He dropped out. Tim, you're an idiot. Addicted to crack? How hot could she be? For real. If they're addicted to crack, well, there's always more fish in the sea. Preferably ones that aren't addicted to crack. I've seen some women 20 years after their crack addiction. They don't age well. Enrolled in the same uni, she stopped talking to me 2 weeks later. The best advice my father ever gave me when I was choosing colleges: do not go to the same college your girlfriend goes to just to be with her. I tried having this logical discussion with my HS girlfriend. I was looking to go to school in Florida and California, so she was also looking at schools in Florida and California. Turned into our first real fight as a couple. She was passing up on schools she wanted to go to just to follow me around, and I told her that that was stupid. I hope I'm paraphrasing. In the end we broke up before those decisions were made and ended up at the same state college anyway. Ironic. My father explained 2 things to me. 1. If she's the girl for you, distance won't matter. This backfired on me later, but I digress. 2. If your choice is college is the reason for your breakup, then the relationship wasn't going to last anyway. Traveled an hour and a half multiple times a week to go see her. She never did the same for me, and she eventually ghosted me. It was probably one of the most pathetic and cringy times in my life, but I learned a lot from it. Edit. It's crazy how many replies and DMs I'm getting from both men and women that have experienced almost the exact same thing. Best advice I have for anyone going through this is never go the extra mile for someone who doesn't or wouldn't do the same for you. It's never worth it. Similar experience. In hindsight, I was playing the nice guy, and by no means am I implying that it is a healthy behavior for men to expect something back from a girl just because you are emotionally and physically present for them. Used to wait for hours for her just to see her. Most times, she blew me off without telling me, or she would find reasons to avoid me. It tore my mental health apart, and if it wasn't for close friends who walked me through that season in my life, I'd be in a very different place right now. Oof, I used to work with a guy whose girlfriend dumped him for another guy and she didn't have a car, so she would call him all the time to give her rides to her new boyfriend's house. He refused to stop talking to her because he wanted to show her how nice and mature he was. Fucking idiot. Wrote a fucking poem in a Word document and emailed her. Not even LaTeX. Bro. My anaconda don't want none. Unless it's typeset in computer modern hun. Did it yesterday after her telling me she doesn't know what she wants and that she doesn't think she wants a relationship right now. I left flowers on her doorstep with a card thanking her for the fun times we've had. Yeah. As I stated above, when it comes to dating, anything but yes is a no. Reminds me of people trying to tell me back in the day that the worst someone can say is no. Sure it is. I had a friend tell me she really liked me and was interested in me, yet she would ghost me all the time. Tell people I was thirsty, but then tell me they wanted me to show more interest and just contradict herself all the time. I'd rather just a flat out no. Not me, but back in middle school a friend of mine made a graffiti on the wall of a girl's house in the middle of night, saying he loved her. He misspelled her name. Edit. I didn't know the singular of graffiti is graffito. Thanks guys. Smartphone contract, 2 years €45 monthly. After 6 months she left me. Now I have 2 phones and €70 to pay every month. I mean, could you switch the contract to a new phone and at least have someone pay half the contract? Getting up from the bleachers to play ped dodgeball, I tried to pull my sweatpants off while yelling let's do this. Ended up yanking off everything, boxers and all. In elementary school, when I walked by this girl I liked I would pretend to chew gum and crack my knuckles cause I thought I'd look cool. Me from the other side of the room, fuck, that guy's cool. A girl was leading me on, but also being obvious about it. I was stupidly believing I could change her ways and get her to actually date me. She had revealed she always wanted a giant teddy bear. So for her birthday/Valentine's Day I bought a giant bear costume from Amazon and like 90 roses. The idea was one for every day I had known her. Creepy and cringy af looking back. Anyhow, she called me drunk the night before and screamed mean shit at me, and I finally broke down and told myself she was a shitty person because she always was terrible to me, and I let myself think I could change that because I was desperate to not be alone. In the end I created a sign that said free bear hugs and roses for Valentine's and wore the bear suit onto our college campus on Valentine's Day to give away all the roses. It made so many people happy that it was one of the best things I've ever done. So many hugs and girls were crying because they didn't have to feel so alone on a shitty commercialized holiday. It was cool. Plus the football players all took a flower and hugged me, which was surprisingly wholesome. This is so awesome. What an amazing way to turn your personal pain and disappointment into a beautiful moment for 90 other people, probably more given that many of the people who saw it would have smiled and gone about their day happier just for watching it. Grew my hair long because she asked me to. She stopped going out with me. I kept growing it and wasn't successful with women until I got it cut. Similar, but no consequences for me. My high school girlfriend got it into her head that I'd look good with my hair dyed her black. My friend, who had a crush on her, latched onto the idea and decided he wanted to do it too. We planned to do it over the weekend. My girlfriend and I never got around to it. Come back Monday, he had done it, loves it, showing it off. Bell rings, we head to class. He splits off, and she grabs me by the arm. N_who, he looks ridiculous. This is a bad idea, we are not dyeing your hair. Jumped over a fire pit and ruined my right knee. Doctors were amazed I ever managed to walk, let alone have full use. Still better than half jumping over a fire pit. Op be nimble, op be quick, op jumped over a fire pit. Was in a long distance relationship with her. Flew back for Valentine's Day, turned up with flowers to see her through the window, sitting on the lap of her ex. That's when you don't even break stride on your way to the nearest bar and give those flowers to the first single girl you meet. It doesn't even have to be to hit on her, but it'll make her feel good. Plus bars serve liquor and you can get drunk. I did that once. Handed out one flower each to a bunch of random girls at the mall from a bouquet after being stood up. Everyone was super nice and flattered to get one. This girl I really liked ages ago didn't really know who I was. I gave her away for her birthday and it was probably the creepiest thing ever to her. I thought it was a surefire way to win her heart, get married and all that Disney crap. 15-year-old me was stupid. Man, at 15 I didn't even have enough money to buy a Wii for myself. Did something similar. Bought a girl an iPod for Christmas when I overheard her telling someone she wanted one for gymnastics practice. I gave it to her at a friend's Christmas party. She gave me an awkward thank you and then proceeded to sit in one of my best friend's laps and flirt with him. I was devastated. Looking back, it was such an odd encounter and I don't blame her if she was a little freaked out. We didn't know each other very well at that time. We three are all still friends, but never ever discuss at night. Gave her a chocolate bar with a golden ticket to go out with me. I got denied. Hey man, that was a very sweet and creative way to ask her out. I'm sure she was missing out. I drank a jar of pickle juice as a dare. 5 minutes later I was covered in pickled vomit. Moved across the country to go to a university near her. She dumped me 4 weeks later. PS. My life turned out great as a result of my decision to attend this school, so it has a happy ending. Oof, I made the opposite mistake. I had an in at an acting school in New York, but I stayed in freaking Michigan because I was infatuated with someone who was sticking around. Never even dated the person. I was just unhealthily obsessed. It was bad. I needed help. I wish I had left my hometown sooner. In high school, I saw a girl I liked walking with her friend. My genius brain decided I needed to impress her, so I decided skipping backwards and saying some quip would make me noticeable for sure. I started skipping backwards and said better get to class. I attempted to turn around while skipping and almost face planted but caught myself. I sped walk to class and never spoke to her again. In middle school I dated a guy who carved my initials into his leg. Flattering, I guess. My high school ex wrote me a short poem, carved it into his arm, and then showed it around at school in an attempt to get sympathy after I broke up with him for playing way I too much woe w. Started smoking cigarettes. Edit, I'm smoking a nicotine vape right now reading these replies. It's been 6 years. This right here is the worst. The girl that got me to start smoking quit, and I still haven't. I told my university-aged, now boyfriend, before our first date, that I thought he looked cute in his high school uniform. Had been looking at old pics, so he rocked up to pick me up in his full school uniform that barely fit him anymore. Do you think he'll take it off for the wedding? He probably won't be able to take it off. That's how anime characters are made. In high school, this girl who I was close friends with but also had a not so secret crush on told me once how she really loved those huge 7-foot tall teddy bears, so I told her one day I'd buy her one and she laughed, writing it off as a joke. Fast forward like 3 years later, when we are going to the same local college and reconnected after slowly drifting apart after high school. She tells me one day that she's sick, so I do the only logical thing. Drive to Costco after class, drop $200 on that huge teddy bear, stuff it into the backseat of my tiny Honda Civic, drive incredibly dangerously since the bear is taking up my entire rear window, then show up at her front door. She says it feels too weird and romantic given our past, me having that not so secret crush back in high school and her having to tell me multiple times that we are better off as friends. So I do the whole drive back and return the bear. I can picture you driving back to the store sad and angry, looking into the rearview mirror to see the bear smiling back at you. Fuck you, bear. Fuck you. I was so completely obsessed with a girl that I disregarded my own well-being and threw away any chance I had for success. We dated for 4 years while we were in school for architecture. Towards the end of our degrees, she started having trouble with her thesis project and asked for help. In what can only be described as a lengthy period of insanity, I decided to stop working on my own projects and focus entirely on her thesis. I did everything for her: designs, drawings, models, and write-ups. Her presentation went flawlessly, and she had the top grades in her class. As a result of staying up all night for weeks at a time and repeatedly delaying my own work, I failed most of my classes and dropped out of school. She was grateful and begged me to help her work on her master's degree as well. No problem. Got her straight A's and a brand new diploma to add to her collection. She dumped me on graduation day and immediately began a relationship with someone who understood the importance of self-respect. I'm not even mad. It was entirely my own doing, and I learned some valuable lessons. Really expensive fuck up though. Cost me about 8 years of my life playing catch up. Never put a school relationship before your own success. First girl I asked out, I left a chalk outline of a body on her driveway, along with a, clearly fake, police report indicating I was dying to go out with her. Yeah, I still cringe at the memory. Edit, this blew up. Thanks for the silver guys. And to everyone asking, I did know her, and we had been flirtatious with each other. One of her friends assured me she would say yes to something creative. She did not say yes. I did something similar as one of those promposals, except mine involved me laying in the pretty much abandoned street in front of her house with ripped pants and fake blood. Luckily she saw me before running me over for real. I still think it hilarious though, probably because I wasn't serious in actually trying to woo her with it. The next day she had one of her friends pretend to start choking on something, and while everyone was freaking out she said, "You were a Boy Scout. Use this first aid kit and help her," and shoved a small first aid kit in my hands that said prom survival kit, and on each of the items inside she had written a line of a poem. I don't remember what exactly it said, but it referenced my promposal, and at the end of it, she had somehow written yes on an unopened band-aid. It probably helps that she and I were friends and we went as friends with literally no desire or idea that anything else would happen. And wouldn't you know it, nothing did happen. Share your experience or story in the comments section below. If you have a suggestion for our next video, also leave a comment. Don't forget to share the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more funny, scary, or interesting top posts on Reddit. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace out.